Today we're heading to Pioneer to see if we can infinitely venture through dungeons with the help of a new Brothers War combo, Gwenna, Eyes of Gaea, and Acererak the Archlich. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Ado About Nothing. And we got a sweet one this week. We are heading to Pioneer to play Gwenna combo. This is a deck built around Gwenna, Eyes of Gaea, one of the new cards from the Brothers War that with a little bit of help can let us infinitely venture through dungeons with Acererak the Archlich. So let's talk about this deck. Jump into a Pioneer League, see it in action. So the combo is pretty simple. Gwenna taps to add 2 mana, but you can only spend it on creatures. But when you cast a creature with power 5 or greater, you get to untap Gwenna and put a +1/+1 counter on it. So the goal of this deck is to use Gwenna to cast Acererak the Archlich, a 5 power creature, an infinite number of times. Acererak, when ETB, ventures through a dungeon, so this lets us infinitely complete dungeons. So we do have a problem here. If you look at this combo, Gwenna makes 2 mana, Acererak costs 3 mana. So to make this combo work, we need one more source of repeatable mana, essentially. So there's a bunch of ways we can do this, and we have a bunch in our deck. One that we do not have in our deck anymore, which you'll see as we get into the gameplay, is Kinnan Bondi or Prodigy. One of the combo pieces is Gwenna plus Kinnan lets Gwenna tap for 3 mana, which is enough to cast Acererak, so that goes infinite. But Kinnan and Gwenna is actually bugged on Magic Online right now, so you'll see our first match we got Kinnan in our deck, but then we had to drop our league and restart because we realized that it actually isn't working the way we wanted it to. But that's fine because there's a bunch of other ways to do this. We have Duskwatch Recruiter, which if it flips, makes creatures cost 1 less, so that makes Acererak 2 to combo with Gwenna. Relic of Legends, kind of a cute way to do this, lets us tap a legend to add a mana of any color, so we can cast Acererak. Acererak's going to bounce itself back to our hand, but there's a window there where we can tap Acererak to make a mana, so that mana plus the 2 from Gwenna lets us go infinite. Bantu's Monument not only makes Acererak cost 1 less for the combo, but also drains whenever we cast a creature, so it helps us speed up the combo. We don't need it to win the game because we do win just by infinitely venturing through dungeons. There's a room of the dungeon that gets the job done, which we'll talk about in a minute. Trophy Mage tutors up Relic of Legends or Bantu's Monument. Goreclaw, a little bit expensive, but makes our creatures cost 2 less, which is more than enough to make our Acererak combo work. If we have Goreclaw, not only do we get to infinitely Acererak, we actually make infinite mana as well, because Gwen is tapping for 2, but it's only costing 1 to cast Acererak. So as far as winning the game, I mentioned we can win with Bantu's Monument, and we do sometimes try to tutor that up just to speed up the process, but the normal win condition is Lost Mine of Fandelver. If you read through that dungeon, you scry 1, then you make a treasure or a goblin. The big deal though is Dark Pool, a room that drains each opponent for 1 and you gain a life. So that means even if our opponent's at 20 life, if we can venture through Dark Pool 20 times, it's going to burn our opponent all the way out of the game and win the game on the spot with our combo. Otherwise, Collecting Company, Eldritch Evolution, just to find our combo pieces. We got a bunch of ramp creatures to speed things up. With our best draws, I think we can win like turn 3-ish if we get super lucky. Turn 4, a little bit more likely though. Otherwise, mana base, pretty typical Pioneer stuff. In the sideboard, part of it's protecting our combo, stuff like Shaper Sanctuary, Thoughtseize, a bit of removal, some graveyard hate. The most interesting part of our sideboard though is kind of a transformational or like pseudo-transformational sideboard for control decks. Control is really tough for this deck because we need Gwenna to get on the battlefield and not be summoning sick, so it has to sit out for a turn, and then we need our Acererak not to get countered as we're trying to combo off. So removal counter spells can disrupt our combo. If we run into those super counter spell removal heavy control decks, we can bring in Coma, Carnage Tyrant, and even Skylasher. That's better against like mono blue spirits, but we bring in these big uncounterable threats and we're like, all right, like you got all this cheap removal to disrupt our combo, can you deal with this massive uncounterable super hard to kill Carnage Tyrant or Coma and hope to ride those to victory? So that is Gwenna combo 2.0. You'll see the 2.0 part as we go along. That's because of the Kinnan bug when we had to change the deck list, and that's our Much Ado deck for this week. So let's jump into a Pioneer League and see how good is Gwenna with Acererak in Pioneer. Can this be a real deck? Isn't it against the odds deck? How good is it? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap-up. Need some Brothers War cards? And snag them from our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. Much brew about nothing time. We are playing some Gwenna combo, and this hand is actually pretty good. If we can find blue mana, this is just the full combo in hand. All right, opponent's ramping. Oh, this has got to be Lotus Field, right? Can we race Lotus Field? Probably not on the draw. We'll see. We will see. Blooming Marsh and Llanowar Elves. So basically, we got Gwenna. We got Acererak. We need one more cost reduction effect or the Kinnan to make an extra mana from Gwenna, and then we're good. All right, no Lotus Field is nice. Blue mana. Eldritch Evolution. Can we Eldritch Evolution into the win? Well, play Boseiju. Actually, play Urborg. Run out Gwenna. Pass the turn. Can we win next turn? If we sack Llanowar, there's a Lotus Field. Okay, we got to go for it. I think we win, though. I think we can... I think we just go infinite here while our opponent's tapped out. We get to sack the Llanowar to get a Kinnan and then infinite Acererak. Actually, 2 mana. Oh, well, I mean, that makes it even easier. Breeding Pool, play Kinnan. Now our Gwenna taps for 3. Wait, shouldn't this tap for 3? Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent produced. Is this bugged? Oh, it's bugged. Oh no. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Okay, so can we save this somehow? Okay, we have to sack Kinnan to get a Gore Claw. Now we should be able to go infinite. I don't think we needed to do that though. So untap Gwenna, Acererak. What's the one that wins? This one. Okay. Well, let's see how long our opponent sits through this. To the bottom. Wait, is our combo partly bugged then? Acererak. So we get to cast Acererak an infinite number of times because we get to keep untapping the Gwenna. We're actually also making infinite mana, I guess. All right, Acererak, auto yield. Doesn't matter. Make a treasure. Actually, will this speed it up? Make mana. I think we can speed this up. Acererak, Dark Pool, drain you. Because we can Trophy Mage to get Bantu's Monument. And then once we get enough mana, which is going to take a minute. Okay, opponent scoops it up. All right, that was a turn 3 kill. Turn 3 kill, although I still think the Kinnan interaction is bugged. Am I missing something here, chat? Whenever you tap a non-land permanent for mana, add 1 mana of any type that permanent could produce. Is there some weird reason this doesn't work? Tap, add 2 mana of any combination of colors. So it should add 3, right? If you have Kinnan, it should add 3. I mean, we saved it. We found a way to save it, but if that interaction is bugged, that might be a problem. Thoughtseize is, I guess, in. Although really, this is mostly just us trying to outrace our opponent, I think. Is Kinnan just bugged? It worked with a Llanowar. Like, that worked, that's good. But if Kinnan doesn't work, that is an issue. All right, well, bring in the Thoughtseizes. Go down. I think we're going to actually cut a couple Kinnans, just in case it really is bugged. Duskwatch? Try it like that. Is this combo so busted it can overcome the bugs? Ooh, this hand's interesting. Okay, we're gonna keep it. Eldritch Evolution can maybe find a combo piece, although we're definitely gonna need another combo piece. Temple of Mystery for our opponent. And passes, well, Overgrown Tomb, untapped, and Llanowar Elves. Go. So next turn we can Relic. Relic also works with the combo. I mean, I think we could build the combo in a way that didn't need Kinnan. Abriel Grazer. Is this Lotus Field already? It is. All right. Well, go Thoughtseizes, I guess. Opponent, gonna sack some lands. Well, let's see how much time these Thoughtseizes can buy us. And can we draw a combo piece? No. Well, in that case, I think we're just going to Thoughtseize our opponent. Sylvan Scry. Play Elvish Mystic. Play Llanowar Elves. And then in theory, we can take the pour over pages next turn and leave our opponent without much going on. Combo piece, please. Ooh, Gwenna. That's a combo piece. All right, so. Oh, wait. Do we win here? New thought. Do we win? 1, 2, 3. Oh, we need one more turn. All right, so. Thoughtseize our opponent. Take pour over pages. Play Gwenna. So we need Gwenna not summoning sick. But I think this sets us up to win next turn, right? Because we have the Relic of Legends. 1, 2, 3. Relic of Legends. 1, 2, 3. Eldritch Evolution. Sack a Dork. Get a Acererak. And opponent knows what's happening, scoops it up. Okay. That was actually super good. Who's the best combo deck in the format now, Lotus Field? Apparently this deck might actually be good. We even had to like find our way around that Kinnan bug and we still got there. The question is Kinnan actually bugged? Like, do we need to drop this league and restart because of the bug? Do we try to play it anyway? We're 2-0. We won 2-0 in our first match though. I really don't want to. All right, well, we'll figure it out. But that was it. That was a sweet combo kill. This deck might be good. It might actually be good. Gwenna, who would have thought? Sweet, sweet. So I did a little bit of Kibler Googling on Twitter and found out that there is a bug between Kinnan and Gwenna where Gwenna just doesn't work the way it's supposed to. The good news is, well, two pieces of good news. Well, first, let's start with the bad news. The bad news is this means we probably really can't play the version of the deck we were playing before because we have a 4-of that just doesn't work the way it's supposed to in our combo. The good news, though, is twofold. First, it doesn't seem like Kinnan's bugged. I think it's Gwenna that's bugged with Kinnan. So if you have like a Kinnan commander deck or whatever, it should be fine. Just don't play Gwenna in it if you're trying to use that. But Kinnan in general seems to work with other stuff, just not with Gwenna in specific. The other bit of good news is I think we can still make the deck work. It probably won't be quite as good as if we had Kinnan, because Kinnan is the cheapest way in the deck, I guess outside of flipping it up with Squatch Recruiter, to be the cost reduction combo piece. However, we can play another Trophy Mage, add in another Relic of Legends, add in another Goreclaw, and I think still make it work. So we're going to jump back into a league, this time with the no Kinnan version of the deck, and see. I don't think there's any sense in continuing to play the bug version of the deck. I was thinking about it, but playing a deck where you know one of the cards is just not going to do what it's supposed to do doesn't really make a lot of sense, especially since Kinnan in this deck, it's purely a combo piece. Like, I guess the additional ramping with Llanowar or whatever is fine, but it's in the deck to support the combo, be one of those pieces to make the infinite Gwenna Acererak combo work. So let's see if we can do it without Kinnan. If you are playing in paper though, or eventually once they fix this interaction, which I think this is one they'll actually fix, because it's actually somewhat playable in a real format. So I think they will fix it eventually, but you can still play the Kinnan version in paper. Also, kind of awkward that this is the second new combo deck that we've played in the last couple of months that had a bug in it that kind of made us rebuild the deck. We played that Hydra deck with Unbound Flourishing and found out that Unbound Flourishing is also bugged with Hydras, so we had to rebuild with Doubling Season. So second combo deck in a row. Well, not in a row, but in the last couple of months that we had to rebuild. Anyway, on to match number 2, league number 2, and well, this thing is actually kind of insane. We have the full combo. We need one more land, but Relic Gwenna Acererak is actually, that is the kill. Well, we'll see how much removal our opponent has. I think that's kind of the determining factor in how good or bad a matchup is. Is our opponent playing a ton of removal? If they're playing a ton of removal, life can be a little bit tricky. I mean, I guess we also kind of get 2 shots at it because we can Eldritch Evolution into another Gwenna. Oh, if Gwenna had haste, it would be, this combo would be so busted. Even without haste, I think it's still pretty good. Even without haste and without Kinnan. All right, land please, Magic Gods. Breeding Pool for our opponent tapped and passes. Coco. All right, well, let's not quite a land. Let's play Duskwatch. 3-drop tribal over here. Please land. Spire Bluff Canal for our opponent. Ooh, well, our opponent passing and letting us flip this is actually kind of good. Trophy Mage. Well, I mean, run out Gwenna. Hope it doesn't get countered. Go to combat. Hit you for 3. This is a big turn. This is a big turn. Does our opponent have interaction? Okay, is it Charm? I mean, this is kind of it. Opponent classification. Oh no. Oh, we might be dead. If our opponent has Storm Herald, we're dead. And a land, but those are the 2 auras that let them one shot. We also need this. So we need to not die to our opponent's combo. We also need this not to flip. Opponent land. Okay, Fable. Oh, this does it. This does it. We get to go infinite. Okay. Just in time. We got the cost reduction. Opponent's tapped out. We got the Gwenna. I mean, that's just game. That's game. Even if we don't draw the land, we don't even need the land. We draw Duskwatch. So, tap this for 2 black. Play Acererak for 2 mana with the cost reduction. Untap it. And we'll see how long it takes until our opponent realizes they're dead. So we get to scry, Innkeeper to the bottom. Tap it for 2 black. Wow, this went well. This went super well. Untap it, Acererak, make a treasure, again, Acererak. I mean, this is deterministically lethal, because now we're to the drain room. Dark Pool drain you, and Acererak. Yup. Pick it up, we draw a card. Wow, opponent's gonna make us do it. Okay, Acererak. Same deal. Once we get enough, Once we get enough treasures, we'll probably try to tutor up Bantu's Monument just to speed up the kill a little bit if our opponent's not going to concede. I mean, I guess one of the downsides is people might not know this combo, so maybe they don't realize that they're dead. It is working though. I mean, we raced. Untap it, drain you for 1 with the Dark Pool. Do it again. We also get to make the biggest Gwenna of all time. Untap it, draw a card. All right, let's do it. So we can play Trophy Mage, tutor up Bantu's Monument, play the land, untap. This will speed up the process a lot. Bantu's Monument. So now we get to drain every time we cast Acererak. And we're making infinite mana now too, which I guess is sweet. Drain you, untap. Maybe this deck's actually kind of good. Same path, venture, scry, bottom. Tap this for green this time. Acererak. Untap it, drain. Wow, opponent is really sticking it out. Make a treasure. Tap it for black. Oh my god, speed this up, editor. Speed this up. Put some snappy music under it and make this less boring.
Acererak, drain you, opponent's down to 12. Drain you again. Do it again. Make some black mana. Acererak. Drain you. Pick it up, draw a card. Tap for black. I can't believe our opponent's sitting through this. I mean, I guess it doesn't take that long. Once we get the Bantu's Monument, it doesn't actually take that long to finish the game. I guess our opponent's just hoping we'd misclick value.
I don't know how it's leaking. Okay, opponent finally decides that they've had enough. Well, that's pretty good. That was turn 4. Turn 4 kill. We definitely need Unlicensors and Thoughtseize. Those are our big ones. I don't know about Fatal Push. The problem with Fatal Push is Storm Herald costs 3 mana. We don't have a lot of easy ways to trigger Revolt. Not at instant speed. We can trigger Revolt during our turn for days with Acererak, but go down the Innkeeper. Maybe all the Innkeepers. Go down a Coco. Maybe go down 1 Trophy Mage. 1 Duskwatch, 1 Goreclaw? Is that 2 in? Yeah, let's try it. Thoughtseize and Hearse is in. We know what our opponent's trying to do. They're playing Storm Herald combo. So basically get the auras in the graveyard, play it, win. Ooh, all right. This Unlicensed Hearse, if it resolves, is super good. Best sideboard card. And then we have Coco and we have Acererak. Like, no ramp, but this hand's not bad. About it. Going to venture deeper. Mills, anything relevant? All right, so they got the Burning Anger, which is, that is step 1 for our opponent. Ooh, there's Gwenna. Oh, Blooming Marsh. Go. See if this Unlicensed Hearse actually resolves. Opponent, Shivan Reef. Ooh. Odds of resolving increasing. Colossification hit. However, bad news for our opponent is we got the Hearse to get those combo pieces out of the graveyard. Botanical Sanctum. Run out Unlicensed Hearse. Pass the turn. All right, that's good. Land. Storm Herald. Exile, Colossification, and Burning Anger. So now it's just a hasty 3-2. So opponent's on the backup plan, on the backup beatdown plan. The question for us is, do we run out Gwenna? We still need 1 more combo piece no matter what. Down to 16. Well, Breeding Pool untapped. Yeah, I think we do. Let's run out Gwenna. If it lives, we're in pretty good shape. And even if it doesn't live, we still got the Coco. Although our opponent does know they have to kill it now. Ledger Shredder, sure. Wait, are we going to untap with Gwenna? Okay, venture deeper to connive. Oh, this is... Wow, can we win this turn? We're like 1 piece short. Wow, no attacks. All right. Hearse, snag a couple of cards. You have Maya Coast. We have the Eldritch Evolution. We need the Goreclaw, basically. Oh, we only have 1 black mana, too. All right, let's see. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So we Trophy Mage. Oh, I think we need 2 turns. Am I missing a way that we can win here? 1, 2, 3. Run out Trophy Mage. Bantu's Monument. Play the land. All right, yeah, just run out the Monument. Opponent gets to connive. I mean, this definitely sets us up to win next turn. Assuming our opponent can't kill the Gwenna. If our opponent kills the Gwenna, then they got a shot. But opponent connives away and land. We shouldn't be dying this turn. Shivan Reef. Do they have removal? Gather the pack. Okay, that only gets creatures, so that's fine. Mills. Everything. Well, can they kill the Gwenna? That's the only question. Can you kill the Gwenna? Opponent goes to combat. Hits us for 1. I mean, we are going to go for it. Unlicensed Hearse. Exile and exile. Well, let's see what you got, opponent. Let's see what you got. Acererak. Trigger. Untap. Resolves. drains, and opponent scoops it up. Oh, maybe this deck's busted. Maybe it's busted. Maybe even without Kinnan, maybe it's just busted. Why is no one doing this? Why is no one Gwenna comboing? Wow. I mean, that was what, turn 4 kill, turn 5 kill, and we had the disruption to stop our opponent's combo. That went about as good as you could possibly hope. Gwenna is gaining my respect by the game. Not bad. Sweet, sweet. Much brew about nothing time. We are trying to combo off with Gwenna. We'll keep this. I mean, we need Gwenna. We need Acererak, but we got some ramp. We got the monument. That is one of our combo pieces. Ooh, control. Okay. Well, this should be interesting. Elvish Mystic, go. I'm imagining control's a tricky matchup for our deck, considering we have so many sideboard cards that are dedicated to fighting it. Well, Botanical Sanctum, and we want to play around Censor. Yeah, let's just Innkeeper. Innkeeper gives us more mana to let us play even more around Censor in the future. Get in, hit ya. Down to 19. Tap land, passes. Well, there's Gwenna. There she blows. Well, Urborg, and run up Bantu's Monument. Don't really want run another creature into potential turn 4 sweeper. All right, opponent has Dovin's Veto. Sure, pass the turn. Yeah, I think that the plan for this game, this matchup, is probably lose game 1 and then sideboard in the uncounterable stuff that maybe helps in the future. Oh, geez, temporary lockdown. There goes our board. I mean, if our opponent follows us up with Big Teferi, we're probably just done already. Yeah, this seems like the tough one. This seems like the tough one. So much removal, so many counters. We're not especially close to comboing at the moment. Opponent, Castle Ventress, and passes. Well, that's a Acererak. Trophy Mage. Resolves. We'll grab a Relic of Legends. Play it. They would have cycled Censor by now, right? Okay, another veto. Well, we can't really do much about another veto. Play the land, pass the turn. Okay. Opponent untaps. So we need the cost reduction effect. That's what we're missing. Okay, well, we need everything. We need everything. Opponent wraths, passes. Well, play a Duskwatch Recruiter. And a tap land. Pass the turn. I guess we can start running out Moses. There's the Teferi. Okay, this is slipping away. Slipping away. 1, 2, 3. Duskwatch. Hit us something good. Trophy Mage. The rest go to the bottom. Opponent untaps with Teferi. Yeah, how do we stop a Teferi? Well, go to combat. Attack Teferi. Opponent going to take it. Relic of Legends. I think we gotta run out the Trophy Mage. We need to be able to pressure this Teferi. Trophy Mage. Okay, opponent counters that past the turn. Interesting. Opponent gonna draw a card. Just doing Teferi things. Wandering Emperor to kill the Duskwatch Recruiter. Now we're getting to the point where the question is, do we even keep playing cards, or do we just go to the next game? Do we even want to show our opponent what we're doing? I guess they've probably figured it out by now. Acererak. 1, 2, 3, boom. Cast it. It's so bad here, though. Tap it for mana. I mean, I guess we're going big. This is probably the worst idea, but gain a life. Acererak. Little less impressive when it's not going infinite, although Relic of Legends is good with it. Oh, no. Okay, opponent has removal. Well, we get to scry 1. Eldritch Evolution, we will keep it. Draw it past the turn. Untaps. Draws with Teferi. Takes up the Wandering Emperor. Passes. Oh, wait. Gonna go for some scry value? Thinking about it. I mean, the fact that our opponent was even thinking about tapping this is a pretty good sign that our opponent maybe does not have the best hand. Acererak. Keep on venturing in them dungeons. What are our options? There are dungeons that exist to the southwest and the southeast. Wait, there's got to be a way to see dungeons, right? Oh, view dungeon information. Treasure token or target creature can attack. Oh, we definitely want treasure token. So treasure token. And I guess we just try to pass in Coco. Opponent gonna do some scrying. I mean, we're fighting the good fight. It's tough when your opponent's drawing extra cards each turn with Teferi. That makes it tricky. Wow, they do have Censor, but they cycle it. So next up is what? Scry 2, draw 2, scry 3, draw 3. Opponent gonna make a Samurai and plays a land. And Castle Vantress to scry. I guess end step before they go to untap lands is when we try to Coco. Gonna try to untap. They scried 1 to the top. Well, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can we resolve a Coco, please? All right, opponent has a Saw It coming. Gets to untap some lands. We draw Elvish Mystic. Well, Acererak. Keep on venturing. We get to scry 2. Wait, okay, let's think about this. So next mode is make 2 1/1s or exile the top 2 cards. You can play them this turn. Oh, you may play them, period. Okay, well, bottom and bottom. Oh, we should have tapped Acererak in response. That's a bit of a punt. Well, Acererak, again. This time we will properly tap it for mana. We get to exile our top 2 cards. Oh no. Oh no, we could have, oh no, that punt is actually going to come back to bite us, isn't it? Well, we get a Relic of Legends. Yeah, we could have actually played the Coco if we had tapped the Acererak. Oh, Elvish Mystic, go. Yeah, about it, untaps. Yeah, it was a bit of a punt. Opponent gonna grow the dork. The problem here is this Teferi's getting close to ultimating. And our opponent still drawing extra cards each turn. Once they ultimate Teferi, I think we can safely scoop. Gets in, hits us. Kills the Mystic, and gets to untap the land. Well, I mean, this is basically it. Can we actually max out this dungeon with Acererak? We draw Llanowar. Well, Acererak. Oh, they found another counter. Okay. Yeah, now I think it is. Well, okay. So they absorb that. We can play Llanowar. We can Eldritch Evolution Llanowar. So many counters. We get Acererak. We tap it. We pick it up. We scry 3. Bottom. Oh, we don't have haste though, so none of this actually matters. We blow up this. Does that matter? Not really. All right, bottom and top. Yeah, I think that we're just locked here, right? Like this Teferi ultimates, and then we're just locked. Opponent going to scry. Well, we'll see. This is a nightmare matchup. Can our sideboard actually save us? Can the Carnage Tyrant plan? Can that actually come through? Is that going to be enough to let us beat Blue-White Control? Or is this just literally the nightmare matchup? It definitely seems hard. Any game is hard when your opponent just gets to go off with Teferi. Scries 2 cards to the bottom. Yeah, this is the big issue. We just don't have a way to stop this Teferi from ultimating. And once it ultimates, there's no way we can ever untap with Gwenna. What we really need, and maybe we should, I think maybe there was another misplay. Wow, they're going to tuck a Relic of Legends. Okay. And then play another Teferi. There is a way we can go infinite with Acererak and Goreclaw in Relic. So opponent's also going to hit the Relic of Legends. Well, the going infinite plan seems less likely now. Gets in, hits us. 3 mana still available. Play Acererak. Hit the last mode. Play a Relic of Legends. Gwenna. I mean, we actually went through the whole biggest dungeon. That is not usually a thing that happens. I mean, our opponent cashing in their Teferis like that does feel like a sign of weakness. Opponent's looking a little desperate. Is there a chance we steal this? Bottom with the scry? Bottom. I mean, if our opponent doesn't have removal or interaction, we actually could just go infinite. 2 to the bottom. Okay. Draws with Teferi. Well, let's see what answers they have. And they find the laydown arms. All right. They found it. They did find it. Oh, we were close. We were super close to actually pulling this off. Opponent gets in, hits us. What we need is a Goreclaw. Goreclaw is the card that could let us backdoor into this opponent. Doing the same thing they always do, untapping lands with Teferi so they can scry, so they can find more action. We draw a Llanowar Elves, which is pretty much the worst. Acererak. At what point do we give up? we had a chance, but no, I don't think we do. Oh, and again, we didn't tap this. Oh, so many punts. We gain a life. We play Acererak. This time we will correctly tap it. Wow, we keep doing that. We really got to stop doing that. Acererak bounces. We scry. Eldritch Evolution. I don't think that's good enough. To the bottom. Llanowar Elves. Pass the turn. Opponent gets to scry with Castle Mattress. This matchup's such a heartbreaker because it feels like we're right on the edge. We're right on the edge of actually like being able to pull it off, but our opponent just always has the answer. 2 to the bottom. Untaps. I can't believe this desperation main phase scry plan has been enough for our opponent to keep finding the answers they need. It looks so bad, but it keeps working for them. It keeps working. 1 to the top. All right, so they found an answer. They draw with Teferi to draw that answer. Yeah, Teferi's a brutal card, isn't it? I mean, considering our opponent's been drawing 2 cards a turn with Teferi and untapping their lands, and has had just like infinite answers, the deck hasn't done bad considering just like how miserable this has been. Opponent goes attacking, gets in for 7. We are dying to the Wandering Emperor now though. And you gotta think, there's no way our opponent scried something useless to the top. There just ain't no way. Opponent untaps, we draw. Is it Goreclaw? It's a breeding pool. Well, let's see if they drew a counter. Acererak. Tap it for mana. Make a treasure. Acererak. Tap it for mana. Scry 2. Bottom. Acererak. Tap it for mana. Make 2 skeletons. Relic of Legends, number 2. And a tap land. Pass the turn. All right, so here's our current plan. And again, I wish we had interaction or something, which we will after sideboarding. So I think our current plan is hope our opponent doesn't find a counter for Acererak. If they do, the game ends. Survive this turn by chump blocking. 2 to the bottom. Survive this turn by chump blocking. If we do, all right, opponent's just going to draw without scrying this time. If we do, and we can hit Goreclaw and play it for free off of Mad Wizard's Lair, and our opponent doesn't have interaction in their Bloated Control deck, we could combo. We could combo from this point. Opponent has 6 cards in hand, though. That's so many Magic cards. It's a sketchy spot. It's a sketchy spot. Farewell to exile everything, except for creatures. And a land. I assume the farewell is what our opponent drew for the turn. Let's see if they got counters or removal. Opponent gets to untap. All the mana at the ready. Draw Eldritch Evolution. Not enough to get a Goreclaw. Play Relic of Legends. Oh, they have a counter, don't they? Okay, Cycle Sensor. What a ridiculous game this has been. Acererak, do you have a counter for that? Do we tap it for mana? They could have another Wandering Emperor. Yeah, let's not here. All right, Acererak bounces. We scry 3. Bottom. 1, 2, 3, Acererak. Complete the dungeon. Yeah, now we have to. I feel like I played this very oddly. Pick it back up. Mad Mage. Goreclaw for free. Acererak? Is this happening? Okay, lost mine. Wait, are we going to beat the control deck here? Bottom. Acererak. Oh, goodness. Okay. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, my God. Through our punts. Wow, I really got to remember to tap Acererak every time we do that. Through our punts with no cannon and probably the hardest matchup through all the counters to Teferi on the battlefield drawing an extra card for, I don't even know, 10 turns? 10 turns in a row? Something like that. Like, I think they played a turn 5. We still managed to piece it together. Wow. Even in spite of our mistakes, Thought Season, Coma in, Carnage Tyrant in, probably not Skylasher. Those are good ones. Fatal Push, no. Shaper's Sanctuary is interesting. The only problem is Temporary Lockdown does just snipe it, and I imagine our opponent's going to keep that in, which almost has me wondering if it's worth bringing in. We can go down like maybe 1 Duskwatch, 1 Trophy Mage, probably the Innkeepers. Wow, I can't believe we found a path to do that with the Goreclaw. Like, that's what we were playing for, and we just had to like cross our fingers and hope that our opponent didn't draw it. They scried so much, and we ended up getting there somehow, some way. The other thing that could be a concern is like Grafdigger's Cage. Would our opponent play Grafdigger's Cage? Mana Dork? Yeah, let's go to an Evolution. Do we want Shaper's Sanctuary? Although I guess the ramp, if we're trying to win with Carnage Tyrant, the ramp is helpful. You know what, let's run it like that. We can still combo. However, we can also maybe just yank out the control deck with something like Carnage Tyrant, or we could draw the Zero Lander. All right, we're gonna show. Oh no! Oh goodness! Did we sideboard out all of our lands without realizing it? Okay, well this is sketchy. Keep Goreclaw bottom. I guess Beseju bottom. Oh boy. Okay. Sometimes all you need is 5 cards. Hopefully that's one of those games. Mount Olive out and tapped passes. Well, we actually have a lot of combo pieces. Llanowar Elves go. Opponent. Guild of Gwyn, which is actually strip mine against us. Yeah, having a basic might be worth it. Oh boy. Oh boy. Breeding Pool tapped. Oh dear. We're gonna get strip mined, aren't we? Yeah, 0 basics is too greedy for my tastes. Opponent foretells a card and passes. I'll play the land and Gwenna go. Untapping with that would be sweet. Probably the counter, we'll see. I mean, if our opponent's actually stuck on 2 lands, that is kind of helpful. Behold the Multiverse to draw some cards. Okay, is there a way we can win here? Is there a draw that wins us this game? Finds their land. Passes. I'll play Urborg. I mean, I guess we can just do some dungeoning. All right, 1, 2, 3, Acererak. Yeah, I mean, I guess we're just gonna cast Acererak a few times and grow Gwenna. We're 1 cost reducer away from being infinite. Are we going through? Yeah, I guess we're going through Mad Mage again. I can't believe going through Mad Mage has actually been kind of a legit plan. Acererak. Untap it. Scry. Mystic to the bottom. Black, whatever. Acererak. Untap it. Treasure. We are speedrunning these dungeons. Black, Scry, Acererak. Untap it. Scry 2. Put on top. Do we attack for 6? I think so. Get in with Gwenna. Pass the turn. All right. Let's see what they got. We have the combo set up for next turn if nothing goes wrong, but our control opponent does have 8 cards in hand. Passing. Discarding to hand size. They didn't kill Gwenna yet. Relic of Legends? Resolves. And opponent scoops it up! We took down the control deck! We comboed them! I know there was some puts along the way, but that was impressive. I mean, now we just go infinite. Opponent knows we have a Acererak. Apparently they did not find an answer somehow with 7 cards in hand. Maybe control's not even as bad of a matchup as we thought. Maybe this deck's busted. Did we break it? It wouldn't be a much brew without asking that. Well, sweet. Let's keep doing that. Much brew about nothing time. We are trying to combo off with Gwenna, and this hand is, I mean, if Gwenna lives, this hand's great. Win the game pretty quickly, great. Llanowar Elves, Gwenna, Eldritch Evolution, the Llanowar for Acererak, Infinite. Seems reasonable. It's Swifty time. Uh-oh. Let's see if our opponent lives up to their name. I would assume that It's Swifty time would be a mono red player or a burn player playing Swift Spear, or maybe it's a trap and it's blue white control and they're trying to trick us into thinking they're playing aggro, so they get that like slight pregame psychological advantage. Well, we're on the play. Here we go. Blooming Marsh and Llanowar Elves go. Opponent Watery Grave. All right, not getting Swifty. Fatal pushes the Llanowar. Well, now we need a land pretty badly. I guess another elf would be, oh boy, so many 3-drops. Okay, land go. We need some manas, please. Mana? Maybe? No. Uh-oh. Well, that was the risk of this hand with 2 lands and all the 3-drops in the world. So another control deck, eh? Considers. What is it? Is this blue-black control? What is our opponent doing over there around Catacombs? Passes. Land? No. Well, we will pass the turn. Oh, this is brutal. This is brutal. About it. Cycle set. This is blue-black control, isn't it? Okay. Actually, it might be like Narset wheel combo. Fabled passage. Opponent passes. Can we please, for the love of God, draw land? I really don't want to start discarding the hand size. I mean, if we draw land, we get to start running stuff into our opponent's counters for days. So many 3-drops for our opponent to censor. Opponent passes. Alrighty then, well, we will pass the turn. Well, this is not exactly how we drew it up, I will admit. And our opponent's not playing a deck that can punish us, apparently. Opponent cracks the Fabled Passage, gets an island. Notion Thief. Oh, so this is, okay, so this is wheel combo then. Well, that's annoying. I mean, if our opponent has a wheel, we are just gonna scoop. Watery Grave, untapped. Opponent goes to combat, hits us for 3. Down to 17. Oh, what an annoying way to lose. Jeez. All right, fair enough. Wheel everything away, and we will scoop it up. So, opponent playing the most annoying deck I can imagine. We will bring in Shaper Sanctuaries and Thoughtseizes. Carnage Tyrant and Coma maybe, if we can find room. Go down Innkeeper. I mean, if we had drawn lands, we would have had a shot there. We would have had a shot. Although this feels tough. Feels like a tough one. All right, do some trimming. Thoughtseizes in, Shaper Sanctuaries in, the uncounterable stuff in. Cross our fingers. Is our winning streak coming to an end? Oh, not like this, though. Not to Narset wheels. We get to play first. Wow, this looks familiar. I mean, we're going to keep this. Opponent doing some mulliganing. Try to find their combo. Of course. So again, we don't really have a way to interact with our opponent's combo, which is awkward. Opponent, do we have the Fatal Push? Hall of the Storm Giants. Well, Breeding Pool untapped. And Trophy Mage. Going to snag a Relic of Legends. Go. I mean, if we can get far enough ahead on the battlefield, we can potentially survive our opponent. Wheeling away our hand. Well, Breeding Pool untapped. Relic of Legends. Duskwatch Recruiter. Hit you for 2. We've gotten off to a much faster start here. We still need more pieces, though, to go infinite. Opponent. Narset. I mean, this is fine because we can kill the Narset, so it's not going to beat us. It could find our opponent a Wrath or something. Opponent, more Narsets. Passes. Bantu's Monument. Play Bantu's Monument. Go to combat. Kill Narset. Hit our opponent. Yeah, kill Narset. Hit our opponent. Elvish Mystic. Pass the turn. So if this Duskwatch somehow flipped, we could go infinite right now. All right, opponent's going to blow up our board. Yep. Well, we get to do some Acererak stuff, but not go infinite at the moment. So, Acererak, drain you. Tap it for black. I guess we're going big again. Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Gain a life. Acererak, drain you. Tap it for black. Scry 1, Mystic to the bottom. Acererak, make a treasure. Drain you past the turn. This Edwara could actually matter here. We also want to keep that in mind. That is a way we can like bounce a Narset in response to the wheel. Opponent, Narset, gets a Baleful Mastery. Plays a land and passes. Well, Acererak, drain you. Tap it for mana. Opponent's going to kill it. So we get to scry 2. Bottom and bottom. Overgrown Tomb, go. All right, so I think we're on the bounce Narset plan. Fabled Passage. Cracks it. Are we going for it? Days Undoing. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if our opponent can answer this. Bounce Narset. I don't want to get him. I mean, if this works, our opponent, they end their turn. We get to draw a 7. Our opponent also gets to draw a 7, but the combo gets fizzled. And there's a chance we can just go off. They can't flash in a Notion Thief. Like, if this actually holds and they don't have some sort of weird, like, Tail's End Stifle effect or disallow, this is actually really good for us. Opponent. We do lose our Acererak, but we're going to have 7 new cards. Opponent's in the tank. I don't know if they're trying to think through a line or if they're, I don't even know. Maybe they're trying to think if they want a Gaea Reach Sanitarium, but it doesn't really matter because we haven't drawn a card, so we would still get to loot. Wow, this really coming through the channel lands. Who's getting Swifty now, opponent? I mean, I assume they just have to let this go and accept it. So it gets bounced. New hands all around. Opponent's turn ends. Ooh, Carnage Tyrant and Friends. And another Atwara, which is kind of interesting. All right, so opponent also has 7 cards in hand. Our opponent could just reassemble and try again. The question is, do we need to leave up Atwara? I'll play off Maya Coast. Acererak, drain you. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, we found a way through somehow. Our channel land. Oh. I can't believe that channel land came through, but it did. Run it back, I guess, and try to do that? We do not have many ways to actually answer a Narset once it's on the battlefield. Not many ways at all. Ooh, all right. I mean, this will keep. I like the Thoughtseize. Don't it? Watery Grave. Untapped. Passes. Overgrown Tomb. Llanowar Elves. Go. I assume it's about to die. Fatal Push. Opponent. Drown the Catacombs. Passes. Well, player Borg. Thoughtseize you. Narset, Ritual of Soot, Censor. Now take the Narset. Play the Llanowar. If you want to censor it, go right ahead. Opponent would rather cycle the censor, I think, at this point. Especially if they have the Ritual of Soot, so. Fatal Push off the top. And Island. Opponent passes. Well, Botanical Sanctum and Elvish Mystic. Could use more combo pieces. They gotta cycle the censor, right? All right, cycles the censor. So we know there's a Ritual of Soot that can wrath our board. Opponent passes. Not ideal. Pathway on blue. Actually, probably just green. Yeah, on green. And Acererak. Let's start the fun. I mean, I guess we're going big again. I can't believe how much we're venturing into Lost Mine here. Get in, hit ya. It is kind of nice that Acererak bounces, so it's hard to Ritualist it. Opponent, Watery Grave. We still know most of our opponent's hand. Acererak. Well, Acererak. Scry 1, Blooming Marsh to the bottom. Breeding Pool untapped. We're tapping out. Acererak. Make a treasure. Pass the turn. See what our opponent finds. Untaps. Considers to the graveyard. Ooh, there's a relic. That helps. That speeds things up a bit if it resolves. Relic of Legends. I mean, I guess we keep doing it. 1, 2, 3. Actually, this isn't a great turn for it. Let's get in for 1. Actually, let's not get in for anything. Let's just pass. Next turn, we'll go back to Acererak. I kind of like leaving up Ottawa here just in case. Opponent, land. Passes. Uh-oh. Land and Fatal Pushes. Okay. So opponent's hand is a Pathway and a Ritual of Soot. We kind of like that. 1, 2, 3. Acererak. Oh my god, I did it again. I didn't tap it. Oh, coma. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Bottom and top. Let's just play Besage You and pass. Let's play Besage You and pass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I think we're on the coma plan now. Don't it? Another land. Okay. This should be decent. Change of plans. 1, 2, coma, and pass. Opponent said LOL. Yeah, I can't blame him. Like, no one expects to come out of this deck. Wow, opponent's drawn a lot of lands. And opponent says they drew too many lands in GG. And yeah, we knew what you had in hand. Well, opponent ran really poorly, but I will never complain about beating the Narset wheel deck. Oh, that deck it's a tough deck to play against. The Ottawa killing game 2 was super sweet. And then we saw our sideboard playing for these control decks. The uncounterable coma actually be really good. All right. Sweet. Technically 4-0, but 3-0 in this league. Overall, we're 4-0. But we had to replace, start over because of that bug in the first game with Kinnan. So, all right, let's keep winning. Much brew about nothing time. We are still Kinnan and oh boy, we can't mulligan this, can we? We have the full combo, but I guess we do have to mulligan it. It's too greedy. Okay, this is actually pretty good. We will keep. I want to put a land at the bottom, but we could get so punished for that. If our opponent has turn 1 removal for the dork, are we that greedy? Yeah, I think we are. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Llanowar Elves, don't kill it, please. If you kill it, we will be very sad. Blank card. Oh, it's a swamp. And a Thoughtseize. I mean, that's still good, but at least our elf is gonna live. What do they take is the question. Coco's gotta be tempting and just leave the mana. If we get the chance, we're gonna play Relic of Legends just to play around removal on this elf. Gwenna, I mean, obviously essential for the combo, but its mana's a little awkward outside of the combo. Okay, takes the Coco. Well, Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Run out the Relic of Legends, go. Eldritch Evolution's not bad. We, again, still kind of need the Gwenna to live, which against Rakdos is not guaranteed. What's Gwenna? Hope for the best. If we untap, I think we win, which is kind of ridiculous here. If our opponent just plays like a Fable, that should be game, right? I think. I think that's game. So we get to tap this for 2. Oh, we won't because we don't get to cast it. Huh. Yeah, we don't quite win. So we can Duskwatch Eldritch Evolution, but then we'll be tapped out and we won't be able to cast the Acererak. Well, I guess in that case, we play Duskwatch, play Relic of Legends, pass the turn, hope that nothing goes wrong one more time. Oh, that was a good window too. That was a good window. We were close. We were close to being able to do it on turn 3. Yeah, Gwenna only untaps when we cast the creature spell power 5 or greater, not when it ETBs. So having an ETB from Eldritch Evolution wouldn't untap, and then we'd be short on mana. Opponent, combat, gets in, hits us. Gets a treasure, we take our beats. This does turn on Fatal Push, if that's where our opponent's headed. Plays a land. Stomps the Duskwatch. Fable Part 2. Trophy Mage. Well, this is almost exactly the same as last turn. Well, 1, 2, 3. Trophy Mage. Bantu's Monument. Eldritch Evolution, the Trophy Mage. Get a Acererak. Yeah, let's just go through Phandelver here. Scry 1, Mystic to the bottom. Pass the turn! I mean, this is it. Again, what interaction do they find? They get to do some looting. They get to make a bunch of treasures. Oh, hold, deck, hold. So we need Gwenna to live, and then we win? Asking for Rakdos to not have interaction, though, was just such a big ass. That's just all this deck does. The best threats, the best interaction. I mean, maybe our opponent doesn't know how dead they are if they don't kill our stuff. Like, they should, I mean, they really have to just loot for removal spell to kill our stuff, but maybe they don't realize it. I mean, Gwenna doesn't look that intimidating. Although at the same time, because Gwenna is such a weird card to be playing, it's probably pretty scary, because who plays Gwenna unless you're trying to do something degenerate with it? It's not one of those cards that you just expect people to have in their deck. So it probably sets off some red flags just by being there, but I mean, at least we tapped it. So you can attack. Maybe that'll make them not kill it. Well, they're really thinking for some reason. I mean, they saw the Acererak now, so they definitely know what's up. Opponent discards 2, draws 2, goes attacking. We drop to 12. Do you have a Fatal Push or a Dreadbore or anything else? I guess we just go for it. Black, whatever. Do they not have it? Is there any reason not to first cast? Not really. All right, 1, 2, 3. Bantu's Monument. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, they didn't find it. Why does this deck keep working so well? It is blowing my mind how well this deck has worked. All right, Shaper Sanctuary is definitely in. Fight through that removal. Carnage Tyrant. Do we want to go big? Thoughtseize to try to get removal out of our opponent's hand. I mean, Shaper Sanctuary is definitely good. We can probably go down to Innkeeper, go down to Goreclaw. Could bring in Fatal Pushes. Although hopefully we can just Elder Gargaroth. That just dies. I mean, Coma's absurd if we get it down somehow. Do we want a Coma? Yes, it's tough. I'm not sure the best way to sideboard here. I don't think we're going to bring in Hearses. Shieldred is a thing they could have. I mean, let's go down one Trophy Mage for 1 Coma. Run it like that. Still in combo mode. Can we combo off? I'm surprised how well this has worked through removal heavy decks. Like, it's not like we've just run into a bunch of Goldfish matchups. We've been playing against some really removal heavy decks, Control, Rakdos, and we've still been able to find a way to combo off. Sand needs another land, but it does have the full combo. And Stamp. All right, that's a problem. Oh, Blooming Marsh. Okay. That's something. Land and Fable of the Mia Breaker. Well, Yavimaya Coast and Relic of Legends. Go. Opponent gets to do some looting. So next turn we can Gwenna Bantu's Monument. Ooh, opponent discards 2 lands. Next turn we can Gwenna Bantu Monument. And then go from there. Opponent gets in, hits us down to 18. Land. Shieldred, that is a clock. Opponent passes. Thankfully, our combo's not really built around drawing cards. We dropped to 16. So, well, step 1, 1, 2, 3. Play Gwenna. Play the pathway on green. Tap. Bantu's Monument. So it's kind of like last game. Do they have more removal? If they don't have removal, then we got them. If they do have removal, we might be dead. Opponent, combat. Attacks, hits us. Treasure. Down to 10. Blood Tithe Harvester, that's not immediate removal. Sacks the blood. Can you kill the Gwenna? Land. Blood Tithe Harvester. This is full on desperation mode. Do they find a fatal push? Oh, they dead. We have 2 Acereraks. Got him! Opponent tried their best, but in the end, it didn't even matter. We will go infinite. Acererak. Get a bunch of triggers. Drain you. Untap you. Acererak comes into play. Tap it for mana. And we will just go through the kill you dungeon mode here. Scry 1 to the bottom, make some black mana. Wow. 4-0, taking down Rakdos. 5-0 technically, counting the bug game. Is there a chance we get 5-0 with this? Like a legit 5-0? This is a fake 5-0 with our first round from our first league, but that was Rakdos too. I'm blown away at how good this deck is. Even with our changes, having to cut a key combo piece, we're still crushing people. Maybe Gwenna is way better than we realized. Let's do that one more time. Much about nothing time. We are going for the 5-0. The kids are eating. The bear's eating tonight. Bear's getting a feast. He is on a diet, but there might be a 5-0 exception. If we get a 5-0, there will be all the treats for the bear. I mean, technically, we're kind of 5-0, but not all in the same league. But we could be the legit 5-0. We'll keep this. Not the fastest hand, but we got a Acererak and Relic, which are 2 of our 3 necessary combo. Oh, mono red? Could be Rakdos again. We'll see. Well, breeding pool tapped. Go. This next land drop will probably tell us, is our opponent playing some sort of like mono red aggro, or are they Rakdos leading on Den of the Bugbear? Looks like mono red. All right, opponent, land, and passes. Llanowar off the top at a slightly awkward time. We'll play the land and Duskwatch Recruiter. Kill it if you want to, opponent. Not essential to our plans here. So next turn we can Relic Llanowar, and then we start doing the Acererak stuff. We need the Gwenna or a Goreclaw. Goreclaw with the Relic would also do it. Opponent kills the Duskwatch. And, oh no. Wait, does this mean we're dead? I think this means we're dead. We don't have a way to kill an Eidolon. Okay, we gotta draw our one of a Tuara, I guess. Or somehow deal with this Eidolon in combat, which is not likely. Yeah, Eidolon is... Oh no, is our 5-0 dream gonna die to an Eidolon of the Great Revel? It might. Okay, that's also bad. Well, I guess those fatal pushes are coming in. Yeah, we literally cannot combo with this on the battlefield. We'll die before we win. Urborg, go. The Coco's actually a pretty excellent draw. If our opponent just swings, that is a way we could maybe get rid of the Eidolon. Ramanamp re-wins. Combat. Are we playing around stuff? No. All right, be good, Coco. Be good, we need a good Coco here. Trophy Mage. Prosperous Innkeeper. The rest go to the bottom. We gain some life, which is helpful. We get a treasure. Hopefully we kill the Eidolon. We grab Bantu's Monument for sure. Well, let's see if they actually let us kill this Eidolon. All right, block the Eidolon. Okay, Eidolon off the table. That's huge. There's hope. We're at 11. Kills the Innkeeper. Chandra. Let's see how far we can go. Opponent ticks up, hits us to 9. Opponent passes. A Tuara. So, Bantu's Monument. Acererak. Gain a life. Tap it for a mana. Yeah, I think we're going through the big dungeon. Gain another life. Sack the treasure. Acererak. Gain a life. Tap it for a mana. Scry, Blooming Marsh to the bottom. Play Technuma, Acererak. Back up to 13 for the moment. What does Twisted Caverns do? Target creature can't attack until your next turn. Yeah, let's stop the Chain Whirler, pass the turn. Now we're a Goreclaw away from winning. And we're gaining life. Oh, we're so close. We should be able to complete the dungeon next turn, Karizev. I assume our opponent's going to want to play that one. Or maybe they just take the 2. They can get in with it. Okay, they take the 2. Are they getting in with Den of the Bugbear? So we can hit us down to 7. Okay, they're going to stomp our face down to 9. So they're going to go with Bone Crusher. All right, this is it. We basically got to piece together the win this turn, which basically means getting a Goreclaw on the battlefield. Down to 9. Opponent passes. Sanctum, not great. Well, 1-2. Acererak. drain you. Oh, we get to make chump blockers, which is actually relevant. That is actually relevant. Tap it for a mana. Scry 2. There's the Gork. I think we got the win. Put on top. I think we got the win. I think we got the win. Put on top, put on top. Acererak. Gain a life. This should work. Tap it for a mana. Because we can go all the way through and get the Goreclaw for free. We just have to make sure we don't... Yeah, make the skeletons. We don't want to exile the Goreclaw. So get the skeletons. Acererak. Drain you. Tap it for a black. Wow, this deck's so good. Scry 3. Bottom, bottom, top. Acererak for the win. Drain you. Tap it for a mana. Complete the dungeon. Put Goreclaw into play for free. And now our Acererak is literally free. Acererak. Drain you. Tap it for a mana. Now we go Phandelver. And game. Ooh, boy. Opponent got off to a good mono red start too. Drain you. And about it. Sees what's happening. Scoops it up through the unbeatable Eidolon. Actually, there could be a way we could combo through Eidolon. We'd have to have Bantu's Monument and a Prosperous Innkeeper. So we'd be gaining 2 and taking 2. And that would be the only other way. I can't believe we pieced that together. Opponent had the removal. We still managed to piece it together. Okay, against mono red. Elder Gargaroth in, Fatal pushes in. Maybe Shaper's Sanctuary. That would be the only other one that I would be tempted to bring in. We can go down a Duskwatch Recruiter. We can probably go down like 1 Trophy Mage, maybe like 1 Goreclaw. Things that we can sack to get Gargaroth with Eldritch Evolution also seem kind of helpful. Let's go down 1 more Duskwatch. Can we bring in the Shaper Sanctuaries? Is it possible that we can do that somehow? What would we have to cut? Probably like 1 Coco, 1 Duskwatch. Because we're not going to have enough creatures for Coco. We already kind of don't. Is that worth it? Yeah, let's bring in Shaper Sanctuaries and actually go down 1 more Coco for a Duskwatch. Or a Trophy Mage. Yeah, let's go Trophy Mage. They both get stomped. Just so we have enough creatures. Because we only have like 20 hits for this Coco now, 21, which is just not enough. All right, we're on the draw. We get a little bit of removal. We get our Elder Gargaroth tech, which if we just get a Gargaroth down, that might be able to beat mono. Oh, there's a Gargaroth. Okay. I mean, that's Gargaroth and a bunch of ramp. We will keep. Might not be a combo game, but it could be a ramp into Gargaroth game. I guess the question is going to be, do we shock ourselves? And I think the answer is yes. Unless our opponent plays something we really need to Fatal Push. All right, Mountain. Humano, sure. Well, we dropped to 19. Breeding Pool untapped, and Land Where Elves go. About it. Doing Saga stuff. In our Dream World, they play a 2-drop, and then we have a very good turn. Okay, they're just gonna stomp. Yavimaya Coast, Elvish Mystic, and Shaper's Sanctuary. Go. Okay, so the game plan is survive this turn, play Gwenna, and then Gwenna ramp into Gargaroth. Land for our opponent. Goblin Chain Whirler's the worst here. All right, just a Bone Crusher. Gets and hits us for 2. We will take it to 14. Opponent passes. Play the Black Source. Play Gwenna. Pass the turn. So Gwenna living or a land gets us to Gargaroth. And if they kill the Gwenna, then at least we draw a card, so maybe we still get to Gargaroth. Opponent attacks. I mean, we will block the etchings. So this might be setting up a Chain Whirler. Okay, Spikefield Hazard. We get to draw a card. Oh, it's a tap land, okay. So Gwenna down. Well, then we will Fatal Push the Bone Crusher, drop to 8. Untap land. Elves. Well, okay, Llanowar Elves. Gwenna. Opponent's got 2 cards in hand. Botanical Sanctum, go. Hold, we need this Gargaroth. We need this Gargaroth for the win. About it. 3 cards now. What are those cards? Can they deal 8 points of damage? Chandra, that is a good one. That is a good one. What's it gonna do though? Takes up for mana. Soulscar Mage. Nothing. Okay, so Elder Gargaroth. Untap Gwenna. So we can't quite go infinite. Is there anything else we can tutor up that matters? We can Eldritch Evolution. I'll go to combat, attack Chandra. Gonna block. Well, 1, 2, 3. Eldritch Evolution. Sack a Llanowar. Get a Acererak. Which one gains us life? Are we going big again already? Dungeon? Mad Mage. Yeah, let's go Mad Mage. So gain a life, back up to 9. Pass the turn. Opponent might be trying to like Chandra plus something on Gargaroth. They got to deal with the Gargaroth. They have to. Torbrand. Okay, so that lets our opponent kill the Gargaroth. We're 1 piece away from going infinite. Yes, we'll draw a card. It's a trope. Does that do it? Not quite in. Oh, we're so close. Acererak. So, Trophy Mage. Get Bantu's Monument. Actually, do we get Relic? 1, 2, 3. We still can't quite do it. Get Relic of Legends. Play Acererak. Untap Gwenna. Scry 1. Keep the Bantu's Monument. Pass the turn. So now our opponent has to kill the Gwenna to stay alive. Chandra can't target it. I guess they could also just have like some big burn spells with Torbrand out. This is so close. Counting. Ticks up. Mountain. Down to 5. Oh my god, Xaxes! Oh no! All right, running back around the plate for game number 3. Wow, that Torbrand was amazing for our opponent. That Torbrand saved our opponent's butt. They were so dead unless they had Torbrand. The funny thing is, most mono red decks I don't think play Torbrand, or maybe have like a random one of, but it's not really a stapley card. The most popular versions of mono red, well, we'll see. We're on the play. Can we close it out with a 5-0, or are we gonna get a sad ending? Okay, we know what we're trying to do. We got to plan. At some point we probably need to draw a land, but we once again have the Gargaroth. Llanowar Elves go. As a way to kill the Llanowar Elves. Llanowar Elves. Breeding Pool tapped, go. Okay, we need this Llanowar Elves to live desperately so we can play a 3-mana card. Oh, MDFCs. Opponent's off to the fast start. Can we draw a land, or are we in serious trouble? Oh, magic gods. Not like this. Are we going to lose our 5-0 to MDFCs of all things? Opponent runs out the Saga. We even have the Gargaroth in hand, but missing these land drops is going to make us die. Opponent, Soulscar Mage goes attacking. We'll Fatal Push it, but if we don't draw land, we're just double Spike Field Hazard. Oh my god. Oh no, it's another mana dork that dies to Spike Field Hazards. Oh no, opponent ticking up there. No, the 5-0 dream. Opponent, Mountain. Jeez, yeah, this is the Nightmare Chain Whirler. Hey, mana dork number 5, but we're dead. Wow, this is unfortunate. Oh, what a dream for our opponent. This is just everything our opponent could want and more, and we lose the 5-0 to mono red. MDFCs, I guess. Sweet mother. Wow, that's unfortunate. Remember that our Mana Rock's a scam thing? I think we should ask our Mana Dorks a scam, because if you play Mana Dorks and they die and you don't hit your land drops, are you really even ramping? So maybe Mana Dorks are just a scam. We'll have to ask Sam Black what he thinks. Sam, are Mana Dorks a scam? After that game, I might say yes. Oh, well, okay. So the deck's great. The deck's busted. We crushed it. We overcame the Moto bugs, but we lost our 5-0 in that last round to our Mana Dorks being scams. All right, well, maybe these treasure chests will make us feel better, even though there's only 5 of them. Inkmoth Nexus. I do not believe that card has value anymore, but we will see. Well, it's like 2 ticks. Eldrazi Conscription, kind of classic Jank card. I do like Conscription, but that one's definitely not worth anything. 4 to go. Fido Hydra. Good old 5-mana 1/1. It is a cool card though if you can damage it. If you're playing like damage my own stuff deck or something. Blocks for days. Turn Timber Symbiosis. That might be worth something. It's played in like Belcher. 2 ticks. I will say Spectacular Showdown, which is now on Moto for the first time. One of my favorite new commander cards. Chaotic and also a finisher on occasion. If you think Insurrection's a little boring and OP, try out Spectacular Showdown in that slot. It's way more fun and interesting, and also can still win. Trostani and Hunted Troll. One of the hunted creatures that doesn't see as much play. Well, last shot. Can we get something good? No. Well, I mean, 45 play points is good. Unwinding Clock. I think this is a card that has went up in paper recently because of all the Brothers War stuff. It is still worth like literally $0. 1 penny on Magic Online. But yeah, it did spike up briefly to like $15 in paper. So oh, what do we learn about Gwenna? What do we learn? So we started off with the original build of the deck with the Kinnons. We won our match, but we learned that Kinnon is bugged and doesn't work with the combo. So we rebuilt it without one of the best combo pieces, and we just missed 5-0ing our league. So even without Kinnon, like, it's weird. Even though the combo is probably not quite as optimal as it could be because of no Kinnon, I think the deck is still more than good enough that you should probably play it on Magic Online, even while we wait for Wizards to fix the Kinnon Gwenna bug. The upside of Kinnon is it's essentially like a Relic of Legends, except it can come down with Collected Company right away. So the dream is you like end of turn Coco, hit Kinnon, hit a Gwenna, untap, and you're all set to just like go off with Acererak and win the game. None of our other cost reducers can do that exact thing. Relic of Legends, Bantu's Monument, you can't hit him with Collected Company. Duskwatch Recruiter needs to flip first. So it is worse without Kinnon, but it seems like the deck is so good right now and so powerful, and the combo is so easy to assemble that even a like 95% version or 90% version of Gwenna is probably still good enough. We went 4-1, and I would say we're like arguably unlucky to like lose that last match. I don't want to say unlucky. Our opponent just had the right cards, but we got on boy, that was a brutal loss. But we got down our tech for the mono red matchup in Gargaroth. They just happened to have Torbrand in Chandra to be able to kill it, which is something that red decks usually just have no ability to beat in an Elder Gargaroth. And then that last game we drew for 2 lands and 4 mana dorks, and they all died to MDFCs. So the mana dorks being a scam, that kind of got us, but the deck felt really good. All that to say, if you're looking for something different and Brothers Warrior to play in Pioneer, I would definitely recommend the Gwenna combo deck with or without Kinnon. As I mentioned before, like if you're playing in paper, I would play Kinnon because it does do things that the other backup versions of this combo piece, the cost reduction combo piece, don't do. But on Moto right now, where it's bugged, the deck's still more than good enough to play even without Kinnon. So that's Gwenna combo. That's been our Much Brew for this week. So close to that 5-0. And technically, we did win 5 in a row if you count that win from the first one before the bug. But anyway, that's Kinnon combo. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon.